Good morning. I'm John Ellsworth, founder of Success Strategies Incorporated and the creator of the Success Strategies Advantage. And I want to welcome you to today's presentation. You want to know my what? That was the question I was asked when I first talked to Jerry. It's the first discussion we'd had, and the question I had asked him was simply this: what are your break-even levels? And he came back with, you want to know my what? Well, in this case, and in all cases of business, this is one of the most important things to know in your operation. It's the same with my business or any other business for that matter. It's the price level or the cost level or the production level in the case of dairy cows, which, if everything else, all other variables stayed the same, this will allow you to not lose money, to basically break even. And that's where the title comes from. It's the price level again, or the cost level, or production level, depending which variable you're studying, that if everything else, all the other factors, all the other variables stay the same, it'll allow you to stay above break even, or at least at break even and not lose money. So allow me to give you an example. In this case, this is actually a producer, and you can see that his feed expense per cow per day is $5.93. You can see in the green that his feed expense per hundredweight is $9.21. Fairly attractive. His net milk price, this is after taking out hauling and advertising and all those types of expenses, is $15.86. And as a result of the $15.86 minus the $9.21, his income over feed cost is $6.65. So a very attractive operation. He did pretty well. In a moment, I'll explain that he made 32 cents per hundredweight. So, but the break-even levels are better outlined in the yellow. In the case of the yellow boxes, you can see that his break-even net milk price is $15.54, and recall per hundredweight. And recall that I said his actual was up here at $15.86. $15.54 is a break-even level. That tells me that based on the break-even calculations, his milk price could drop 32 cents and he would still be at zero profit. He wouldn't lose money, but he wouldn't make any. He'd be at what's known as the break-even level. His feed expense per cow per day could go from the $5.93 up the top to this level of $6.14 per cow per day, and he would still break even. Actually, then on the feed expense cost per hundredweight, he could go from $9.21. Again, this time the cost is going up by 32 cents, eliminating his 32 cent per hundredweight profit, and his break-even level is $9.53. And there's some calculations that show that his production, I believe it's 78 to 79 pounds per cow per day, but he actually could drop to, if everything else stayed the same, his production level could drop to 76.45 pounds per cow per day and still break even. He would not make money, he wouldn't lose money, he would be at zero profit. He would cover all his expenses, including principal and interest and all those things, but he would basically not make any money. He'd be at break even. So that's real quick, and I'm sorry if it's too quick for you, but you can watch this video 5 times if you need to catch that. But I can't hold my arm up much longer, so this is where we're going to end this. But anyway, that's an example of break-even calculations. Now, I think the key is to understand not only what those numbers are, but what's the value in knowing these numbers. Here's the crux of the matter, folks. This is really important. It's important that you understand what your break-even levels are for production, for pricing, and for cost levels for various reasons. But here are some uses, some benefits to knowing this information. Number one, I like to say you always know where you're going, and I think that's crucial in any business if you want to really succeed. But number one, it will allow you to understand what changes you can make and still break even. Let me give you an example. Your nutritionist comes to your dairy and says, I think we should start feeding a little bit more soy protein levels, whatever, just whatever example you want to make up. Or we should feed more corn, and corn is really high right now. Well, if you understand what the cost impact of those changes are per hundredweight or per cow per day, you could then say, well, as long as we don't lose production and the price stays the same, we could incur that slight increase in feed costs and be as well off or as we are now or better. And sometimes you're forced to make these changes, unfortunately. So, but at least knowing your break-even levels will allow you to understand what the impact of those changes are. Point number two, this information, the break-even level information, is very useful in setting DRP, Dairy Revenue Protection Program, milk price levels so that you don't lose money. And that's basically what this is all about. You can put a net price under a floor, if you will, under your milk price that will keep you at or above the break-even level. That is crucial information to have in your arsenal of tools. And point number three, it's most effective to maximize your profits when you know what the break-even levels are. Because not only with DRP, as we just discussed, but the Dairy Margin Coverage Program, which is based on income over feed cost. And if you know what yours is compared to the national average, which we never know until the averages are actually calculated, but if you know what yours is, it'll tell you, does this program make sense for me? And I've found for my clients, it's been a very effective program the past couple of years. But this, in a nutshell, are the primary reasons that you want to know what your break-even levels are. It lets you understand more fully what changes you want to make, can make, and also it's very useful in setting milk price levels on DRP and the DMC price protection programs. It's the most effective way to guard your bottom line profits. And that's why knowing your break-even levels is so important. Can I assist you with this process? If you need some help calculating your break-evens, just email me at john@success-strategies.com. You'll see it right above my head, the address for our website. You can just email me at john@success-strategies.com, and I would be happy to assist you with this process because it is crucial. I also want to remind you of our upcoming Next Level Thinking workshops this fall. Be on the lookout for that. And I thank you for listening to me today. Again, I'm John Ellsworth, founder of Success Strategies Incorporated and the creator of the Success Strategies Advantage. Thank you very much.